Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about professional sports here in America. Specifically, we're talking about basketball. Basketball has come back into season. Both the NBA and the WNBA are now playing games, and most people really don't care. I mean, their ratings are really bad. Like, I've heard some reports that less than 1 million people are watching some of these games, which is really low for this billion-dollar industry that's really possibly going to lose a lot of money in the next couple years. And partly it's due to this terrible virus ruining their season and causing cancellations. But in addition, there's other problems that the NBA is making worse. They've done things like get woke and kowtow to this Far East nation, this nation who's our adversary. They've decided to support them over actually supporting the country they're from. In addition, they've also gotten really woke with all the politics. They put BLM on everything. Their jerseys have little messages on the back. And next, we're going to talk about specifically today is the WNBA situation. Some of you might not know, but there's actually a women's national basketball league who plays similar league and games and stuff to the NBA, and they are constantly trying to promote this. They want to act like, they're woke. So part of that is saying, oh, we love the ladies. Here's a girls' league. Let's talk about the girls. Let's get them stuff, and everybody watch that. But the truth of the matter is people just aren't interested in the WNBA. They're not very good at basketball. They try their best. God bless them. I have nothing against the ladies and their abilities and their lifestyle. But the fact of the matter is, like, high school basketball teams with boys can beat these WNBA girls. Like, they're very not good at this sport. And that's why it's kind of boring to watch. People aren't interested. It's kind of like a charity case. The WNBA wasn't making money for many years. Like, the NBA just kind of puts the whole league on as like a write-off and also as a way to signal their wokeness. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're getting back to talking about equal pay. We're talking about the pay gap today because that always comes up when these sports come back and when the girls' sports start talking. They just basically ask for more money. They think they're not getting paid enough. They're really upset that the male athletes get paid more than them. And they kind of make this false comparison. It doesn't really make sense when you break it down because the WNBA and the NBA are totally separate leagues, almost like separate sports. Like, I know they're both playing basketball, but the rules are different. The speed of the game is different. Like, the locations and the team names are all different, but they want to compare them, and they think they have a good argument in saying like, oh, the boys are getting paid more than the girls. That's sexist. Like, that's their basic premise. And it makes no sense. It's totally biased and silly. And it just goes to show they don't understand how things work. They don't understand how economics works, how payouts work, like how people earn money based on their worth. That's just the basic stuff that they're getting blown over their heads. And it's just kind of cringy because you got to tell these ladies like they're not good at math. Like, you got to tell them, oh, you don't understand economics. It's kind of hard to say, especially in this heated climate where anything you say negative about a woman will make people call you sexist. And that's basically what's going to happen today. Today, we're going to go over a video from Fumble. This is a YouTube channel who talks about sports, and they have this video called WNBA Stars Are Ready to Get Paid Like Men, but Do They Deserve It? The Huddle. That's their little talk show, and it actually gets pretty interesting. It gets pretty cool because there's a guy in this video who explains it pretty well, and the girl just gets like really emotional and just says, no, I want more money for the girls, like blah, blah, blah. And she has no argument and just kind of makes her side look really bad and emotional, but that's what they are. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this kind of group that's not really basing their argument on logic. They just really want more money. They want to get paid more, which is like, okay, everyone wants to get paid more, but you don't have to call everyone sexist in the process. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video and then we'll break it down.
Well, let's get into today's topic. Angel McCoughtry, one of the WNBA's greatest players. She's now playing overseas. She is saying the time is up and it's time to pay your female athletes. Right now, she's overseas making about 10 times as much as she would get paid here in the US. And she was quoted saying, pay us like you pay the men. I don't want to get paid more overseas. I want to get paid in my country. Matt, I don't know if I really even want to let you speak right now, but let's.
So Matt's about to drop some logic on this story. And already before we get to the responses, like, this player that's making more overseas, like, I don't get the problem. Like, just go make money overseas. If you want more money, go to where the money is. I don't get why she wants to come to America and tell them to make more money when clearly that money's not there. Like, these guys about to explain it really well. And essentially, the company's taken money and they could give it back to the players depending on how much they make each year. So since the NBA makes billions of dollars, they can pay their players a lot. But since WNBA only makes a few million, like, they can't pay their players that much. That's just how it works. I guess apparently overseas, those leagues must be having more viewers or something, and that's cool. That's where they should play. I don't get this whole thing about wanting to have your cake and eat it too is kind of cringe and kind of showing that these girls aren't coming at you with like straight up logic. They're coming at you with emotions and just they want more money. Like, who doesn't want more money? It's just really cheap and petty the way they're going about it. And it's also just really like they want people to invent the money. It's not there. That's the big problem. And
what did she just say? She wants to get paid the same as Steph Curry.
She didn't say the same.
No, she basically did. She wants to get basically equal pay as the NBA players, which is crazy right now.
I never heard the words equal pay out of her mouth, but she is making pennies. Like, the top women players make $100,000 a year. That's if you're the best.
No, I understand.
The average is a lot less than that.
No, I understand that. And they should be getting paid a little bit more. But I mean, anything drastic into the millions, 2 millions, I don't think that should be happening, because the reason why they're getting paid so little is because they're not bringing in the same revenue as like these other sports, especially like the NBA. There's a reason.
So yeah, this guy is already spelling it out, like we just said. And it's a good point. And the girl right there, she's not liking what she hears. You could see her face kind of like shocked already. And yeah, she's like saying, oh, this guy's making a straight up point. Like, we can't pay them millions of dollars. Like, there's no money. Like, where does that money supposed to come from? Like, is the league supposed to take out loans so they could pay the players more? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if your company brings in a certain amount of money, you can only pay out something less than that. I mean, you can't even pay out all the money you take in. Like, you got to pay other people, you got to pay for the venues, you got to pay for supplies and all kinds of expenses. Like, there's a lot going on into these leagues. So I would say maybe they could pay out like half of what they earn to the players. I'm not really sure what the actual percentage, but it could be half, it could be less or more. But the point is, there's a certain amount that you could pay out, and it's a fraction of what you make. Like, you can't just pay out money that's not there. Like, take out loans, like get a grant or donation from someone. Like, I don't know what she's implying or what they think is going to happen.
Because they're not bringing in the same revenue as like these other sports, especially like the NBA. There's a reason why LeBron's bringing in $38 million a year. You know what? And Steph Curry now is 45.7. Like, there's a reason why these guys are getting paid so much, is because they're drawing eyes to the NBA. The WNBA, not so much.
Matt's just stomping all over women.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying the facts. Like, I'm just saying the facts. Like, okay.
See, that's an emotional response from the chick. Like, he's stomping all over women on Valentine's Day. So, first of all, it's not really addressing what he said, which are facts. A company pays its employees if they bring more money into the company, like LeBron or Curry, which get the league more attention. They're star players. They have lots of fans. They do really well in competition. So that's why they get more money. And that's a percentage of what the company is taking in. But for the women to get more money, their league would need to make more money. They would need to play better, get advertising or something, like get more fans somehow. I mean, that's a long, big process. There's a lot of ways to do that if it could even happen. But, that's the real situation here. And the girl just says, oh, you're just bashing women on Valentine's Day. Such an emotional response. It's like appealing to like your heart. It's like, oh, it's Valentine's Day, so you got to be nice to everyone. Like, who cares what day it is? Who cares what gender these players are? It doesn't actually matter who's playing in the NBA and who's playing in the WNBA and who's playing in this company. Like, it doesn't actually matter. What matters is the facts, like how much they're taking in and which players are giving them more attention for their league. And that's the truth. And the other thing I'll notice is, obviously, it's not Valentine's Day today. This is like an older video that just like resurfaced because of what's going on in the present. Like, people just recently shared this because of this little discussion. And that's why we're talking about it again now, because it is something that comes up in the present every season almost. The girls just act like they need to get paid more for no reason.
If I give you 2 tickets, right? I have one ticket in one hand, one ticket to another. Would you rather go to a courtside WNBA game, or would you rather see it in the nosebleeds of an NBA Finals game?
I'm going to pick at the courtside
No, you're not.
WNBA
No, you're
game.
not. You're going to the finals.
First of all,
You're
I've been given Staples Center 300 level tickets to finals before. I didn't go. I'm never sitting in the 300s, first of all. So.
Wow, what a snob. Like, she's like way into herself. Like, oh, I'm better than that. I can't sit in the top row. I'm better than that. And yeah, she is totally lying. Like, no one would want to see a WNBA game. Like, that's why no one goes and watches their games. That's why they don't get viewers in the present. That's why, it's not the worst thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to be anti-ladies. Like, that's just a false argument. That's them trying to use emotion again. That's like what this chick is doing. That's what all these equal pay arguers are doing. It's just, trying to say male versus female when it's not really a male versus female thing. It just happens to be a league that's for women, and they're complaining about the league for men that's actually just really successful and doing well. And in fact, here's the other thing. Here's the thing they don't realize. I don't think anyone's noticing this, but the National Basketball Association isn't a men-only league. Like, there isn't actually rules that say only men can play in the NBA. If the girls were good enough, they could go and play for them. I'm sure the Bulls would hire some chick if she could nail three-pointers every second of the day. Like, if she was really good at defense or something, they would bring them in. But the fact of the matter is they're not playing at that level, and that's why they're not making money at that level. And that's why they have to set up their own separate league just for women, because they know if they let men into that league, they would take over, and it would just be another smaller version of the NBA. That's the whole truth of the matter. That's what's really going on. And I think you guys get it. That about wraps things up. This was a funny, interesting Fumble video. I'm glad that they have someone spitting facts on the left. And it's just funny to see this ditzy girl trying to make this argument that she doesn't even really understand. Like, she just is trying to be pro-women and, this woke kind of like, oh, women and minority thing. And that's what's really going on. So that about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also, hit that like button if you enjoyed what you saw. Subscribe if you're new. And until next time, have a great day.